Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's video is going to be about the importance of carrying a compressor and a tire repair kit in your car if you do any type of camping, off-roading, or even just general travel. Something happened to me a couple days ago. I was in Katahdin Woods and Waters up in Northern Maine. I was off the beaten path on a road that they really don't take very good care of, and I ended up getting a flat. I had a puncture flat from a rock. It actually went in and kind of avulsed the tire back, and before I knew it, my tire light came on my dash and I was down onto the rim. I carry a compressor and I carry tire repair kit. I know how to do tire repair because I've been a mechanic. I was a mechanic for a long time before getting into the job I'm in now, and I know the importance of having something where you can get yourself out of a bind. So it was 3:40 in the afternoon in Maine, Northern Maine, and I had 420 miles to go to my house. I knew that if I was going to be putting on the donut spare, I don't know what I would have done, because you can only go certain distances and you can only go certain mile per hour on those things. I think it's like 60 total. And up in Maine, they have a nice 75 mile per hour speed limit. I do have a little video to show you about what I went through. I didn't take very long because I was in a bad situation. I was a long ways from home. It was getting towards later evening. I had over 6.5 hours of travel home and 420 miles to get to my home. The road is horrible. Got a flat, so I got everything up, but at least I've got the plug repair. I was able to utilize what I had in the car to check it. I had water, and since I was camping, I also had dish soap. So I mixed it into a pan and I took the tire off and I put it on the tire, and I saw the bubbles, and it showed a significant puncture into my tire. I didn't know if I was going to be able to fix it or not to get home, so I just utilized what I had. I ended up using a total of 4 plugs into the tire, and when I checked it last, it was still leaking just a little bit. So I figured, okay, the tire has a small leak in it. I can pull over whenever the tire light comes on and I can just air it up. But come to find out, the tire light never came on. The tire is still full today, but I'm going to be getting 4 new tires tomorrow. I've decided, since I like to do some off-roading things, I want to get rid of the conventional passenger tire, and I'm going to be getting all-terrain tires. I'm going to show you the items that got me out of a bad jam, and I didn't worry. It sucks because you have to pull over, you have to jack up your car, you have to take everything out of the back, and you have to say, okay, so now what am I going to do, because no one's around. So you're relying on your own resources. I felt pretty confident, and it ended up paying off. I want to show you the items that I had, and perhaps it may help you in a bind. So you need to be prepared if you're doing any kind of travel. There would have been no tow truck coming out. There would have been no tire stores open at that time. And plus, it was a very small town, so I don't even know if they had one in there. So I was kind of worried. I just wanted to make sure that if it's on the tread and it's a puncture, I'm good. If it's a sidewall blowout, then you're out of luck. Then you have to rely on your little temporary spare. So I want to show you. Let's go through the things that I had that got me out of a bad jam. All right, so I apologize for any wind noise, but we're having a front come in. I think tomorrow we're going to be getting a little bit of rain. So the first thing I don't use the scissor jack that comes with the Subaru. I end up using a bottle jack. Now, all I needed was a pair of vice grips to have this work. I was able to tighten it, then I was able to jack it up to get the tire off the ground. Very simple. The stock stuff that comes with the cars sucks. It's not going to get you anywhere fast. And plus they teeter, they have a chance to fall over. Next I used my compressor. I have a Viair, and I had a different one prior to this. The reason why I chose the Viair was it's something popular with the off-roaders. Now I needed something to have a lot of distance so I can air up any tire from. This has to go to the battery, and it still has a very long cord. One thing I like about it is that it has it is fused with a 20 amp fuse. I carry extra fuses. This is the 88P portable compressor by Viair. It also has a very long hose. So this enabled me to air up my tire enough so I could get the jack under it, jack it up, and then I used a 4-way. I have a 4-way lug wrench to get it off. I don't use a stock one at all. After I had the tire off, I got a pot from my camping gear, I put water in it, and I put soap in it, and I found out that I did have quite a significant leak. It had a huge bubble. So I do carry a tire repair kit. Now, what I'm going to show you is this is how I left it, because I was pissed off because something failed and it's my fault for not checking my stuff. So you need to check your gear and you need to know how to use it. So I want to go through this bag because this is the most important thing besides the compressor to get you out of a bad jam. Here's my little tire repair kit. I snagged this, I don't know, like 25 years ago when I was doing home care. A great pack. All right, so it's very messy. It was not a good situation. I was a little angry, but I managed to take care of the problem. In here I have lube. This is tire lube. This is to help you insert the plug into the tire, but this tire had a very large puncture in it. Now, I ended up not using this. This is good to have because of the rubber cement. I'm not going to do any patching. This would be more for bicycles. Sometimes it's good to have cement on your plug because that's going to help adhere. So I have I ended up using 2 of these, which I don't really care for, but they got me out of a jam. My favorite plugs are Blackjack. I've been doing this stuff since the 80s, and Blackjack has always been around. But what I found was, since this sits in my car all the time, these were kind of glued to the actual, look at this. This is horrible to take apart. Having to take this out and get it through my, this is another thing, my problem. I didn't realize that the set screw was loose. It ended up falling out, and my very last plug, this was standing alone. I had to pull it out with the vice grips. So this goes like this, and you end up putting your plug into it, and it was very hard because they were so hot from just sitting in the car. It was very hard to pass it into here. It's like threading a needle. But once I did, I got it in, and these have great gripping power. They're just very, very gummy. Before I did it, I was checking. So this is the reamer. Normally you would put this into the tire if there's some sort of a, if there's a puncture. I didn't need to. I put this in and it was swimming in it. So that means it was a very large puncture. I put 1 in, it still leaked. I put 2 in, it still leaked. I put 3 in, it still leaked. And when I put my final when I put my final plug in, it was still showing small leakage. I figured, okay, whenever the tire light comes on, I can pull over and I can air up the tire. But I was very fortunate. I'm guessing with the moving of the tire, it maybe mushroomed these a little more towards the surface of the tire, that it didn't leak. And the tire is still holding air today, which is amazing. I can't believe that I was 420 miles on a tire that was patched with, or that was plugged with 4 plugs. I carry rubber gloves, but the rubber gloves were actually hindering me because they were sticking so much to these plugs that were hot. So I need to figure out something to get rid of that. It was horrible. I also carry a pair of diagonal pliers. You can call them cutoffs, you can call them whatever. So, but I also carry a razor blade because you want to cut the plug off flush with the tire so it doesn't somehow when you're going, and if the plug's hanging out, it may pull it out. I also carry a crayon in here so I can mark the area. I didn't need to because it was huge. I carry a tire gauge, but I don't really need to do that because the compressor has a built-in tire gauge. I also carry a valve stem remover if I needed to remove a valve stem, and I carry spare caps to the tire. So I managed to make it work. I got home. I'm gonna change my kit. These plugs I ended up getting from Amazon. It came with a lot of them. I have 2 in each car. I gave some to my friend, and I still have 3 more packs of 5. There's a lot of different ones out there. You can choose your own. This one works for me. So I'm going to go ahead and replenish my kit. I'm going to keep the 2 patch kit in here just because I like having the rubber cement. I'm going to have the crayon, the tire gauge, even though I have one on my compressor. I can keep the razor in here and also the valve caps. I'm going to keep this tool in here so I can replace the valve core. And come to find out, there is a set screw in here which is on a Allen screw. So that loosened up on me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it in here if it loosens up. This is the reamer. I'm going to keep this in here. I'm going to keep the diagonal pliers in here. Got some more gloves. I'm going to keep these plugs in here because these plugs did not stick when the blackjacks did. I'm going to keep the lube in here. I'm going to put 2 more packs of blackjack in here. And I do keep a rag also. That's a good kit. It's very important that you keep things in your car if you're doing any kind of traveling. You can't always call AAA. There's not going to be tow trucks around. This place was way out of the woods. I was on a back road. I was actually 8 miles in from pavement. But I kept a level head. I got things done, and I got home. So be prepared. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.